Hello and welcome to Feel Good Friday, your weekly dose of positivity right here on our Facebook and YouTube channels. Happy Friday. It is Friday, September 11th. And if you're like me, you probably woke up this morning and thought immediately back to September 11th, 2001. Where were you? What were you doing? And how did you feel over the course of the next 24, 48 hours and into the next couple of weeks? Certainly something I thought about. We reflected in our meeting this morning as a team. Where were you on that day? But the other thing we touched on is how we all felt the next day when all of the country came together in uniting together. And that's something that we often forget about 19 years later. So today we honor and remember those who died that day and that feeling that brought us all together despite a tragedy. That's something we can certainly hold on to today, given what we're going through in 2020. Today, I have a really exciting story and a preview to share with you about our folks in Chicago. Tomorrow, the team in Chicago is helping host the annual event for the Center for Independence. Now, the Center for Independence usually has an event in person, like just about every nonprofit. And in 2020, that event got canceled. So over the course of the last couple of months, Charlie and Allison have been busy putting together stories, putting together a timeline, and running through everything they need to make this event possible. Now, the Center for Independence helps children and young adults with physical disabilities become independent in work, in school, and in life. So their mission is all that more important as these folks are often now home during a time when they can't be out in social gathering, although they're starting to do so in a safe way. So Allison and Charlie put together this video. Take a look at just a preview of what you can see tomorrow.
When you find people like the Center for Independence team, you just feel like it's God giving you the opportunity for him to succeed and to be a better child.
They've just been a constant source of support, physically for her obviously, but also emotionally. They are the ones who kind of provide the stability and kind of take away like the uneasiness of making all these decisions.
I am so grateful for this place. This place has been a light in our journey. There's just so much heart here. There's so much love here. And that's what sets this place apart from anywhere we've ever been.
Like, I wouldn't imagine our life without the Center for Independence.
I don't know where she'd be without the people here.
And that event starts at 6 p.m. live on the Center for Independence Facebook and YouTube channels, just like this Forever Ready Feel Good Friday on our Facebook and YouTube channels. There's also a raffle and a silent auction going on simultaneously. Allison's about to drop that link below here in the video so you can participate and watch tomorrow. Kudos to the whole team over at Center for Independence and to Charlie and Allison for putting in the work to make this event successful. Can't wait to tune in tomorrow. The second piece today is just a little glimpse into another project we're working on here in Memphis. Right now, in the middle of a pandemic, now more than ever, is spotlighting all kinds of injustices and all kinds of issues systemically that exist in our society. And we've been working with MIFA over the course of the last couple of weeks to tell stories around eviction in our community. People who are on the ground doing the work to help support those who've been evicted or who face eviction or who fear eviction, and those who provide wraparound services to prevent that. Landlords, not slumlords, landlords, folks doing community development work, and anybody working up for this in the city and county offices who are doing their best to support folks. So we've had the opportunity to tell a couple of these stories. They're going to be rolled out over the course of the next couple of weeks, all in preview of their annual event that they typically also have in person. So here's a little preview of one of the pieces we put together to give you just enough interest to maybe sign up for their event.
The people that are facing eviction are people that are working beside us every day. You think, well, they got a good job. They have this, they have that. But you don't know all of the other things that they have to address, all of the other crises that are going on, both COVID and beyond. There isn't a certain demographic. There isn't a person that's quote unquote lazy or unworthy and they face eviction. It's something that could face us all at any given time. We see evictions in lots of different ways in my office. Housing instability or being right there at the brink a lot of time is something that presents after they start talking about what the primary need is, whether that's being a victim of crime, whether that's a veteran trying to access benefits, whether that's a mom trying to figure out childcare. COVID has just exacerbated what was already a problem. We've seen lots of folks who are struggling to stay in their homes. There are so many folks that don't know that help is available to them. And so just educating yourself about the resources that are out there so that as you come into contact with people in your network and beyond, you can be a messenger of all the things that folks can access. People are at the heart of what is happening here, and just being more empathetic and kind, I think that goes a long way.
If you'd like to join a community-wide discussion with Matthew Desmond, the author of Evicted, which is a very interesting book, that's happening on October 7th at noon. Of course, the event is virtual, but you still have time to get the book and start reading it. If you're like me, it'll take you a while to get through the book, but to hear the discussion live with the author and hear from some of the folks that we've talked to in our community, small ways that we can be a part of the solution. That is what this is truly all about and why we share stories like that. Hey, we're headed into a weekend where really unique sports are back in some way. They certainly don't look like they looked last year, and I'm not sure when they'll look normal again. But sports this year is something that could perhaps bring us all together, and they're doing so in many different ways. That's an opportunity for us to see some positive in what's going on. Not necessarily that the pandemic is over in any way, shape, or form, but there's a little bit of normalcy. I had the game on in the background last night. It was nice to hear the game being called, the sounds of whistles being blown. It felt like, hey, it's fall. And those pieces are also bringing people together because a lot of these sports are standing up for social justice issues and speaking out against what's been going on in our country the last couple of months. Let us all remember as we head into the weekend that we have an opportunity in our small ways to make a big difference in how we see the world. So stay positive, be there for each other, and hey, you got this. We'll see you next week right here on Feel Good Friday.